Hi everyone, this is Bach Batu, and this is the Georgia State Panthers uh, off-season. You have NCAA football right here on Twitch. This is a new dynasty for those of you Twitch users. Uh, that I have decided to pick up since I last spoke with you. And I put this one in the name of my dad. Named him after my dad. I always liked the idea of, well, let's just say he had he always liked a challenge. Well, he got one. You know, in Georgia State, the worst rated team overall on this game. They have a 60 overall rating, which is even lower than UMass, which is a 61. But he gave them uh, Nebraska's playbook. And the one change I made is gave him Nebraska's playbook. So, and I think that proved to be a major difference maker. Is that they get Nebraska's playbook to work with. Oops, and let me make sure I have the right. I want to disconnect this webcam here, and I think all right, okay. Take up less resources, less memory here. So he made a major difference in 2013. Not sure what the record was prior to that. But we're going to go back here, and I'm monitoring the stream here. Because I'm doing it 60 frames per second, which is kind of amazing here. Okay, now hiring. Arkansas's. Oh, Iowa's looking at my head coach as the top candidate. Wow. I think they're kind of looking at how he changed over my dad, however, changed the culture, if you will, at Georgia State. So he's got people turning heads, all right. Okay, coaching changes. All jobs. The head coach. Let's see who did Iowa hired a guy named hired Tyrone Walker. The old coach was Doyle. He was fired. So let's go to the Sun Belt, which is the conference that we're in here. Andy Kendrick got a contract extension I think FIU switching from the Conference USA to the Sun Belt helped out quite a bit there. Uh, so anyway, Jason Warren fired from South Alabama, or actually took the place of Barry, who was fired. Mike Watson took the job away from a guy named Royce or Roos from Texas State. I wish they name off the coaches' first names of the persons that was fired. And Walter McFadden left for a new job. So players leaving now. We go to that. All of them to graduation. And none of them I can get back. Okay, so what's this about a seminar? Oh, purchase coach seminar. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Transfer requests. No, I don't want to do that. This works well. At 60 frames per second, I may use this for all of my streams. Yeah, no data. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Transfer request. I love it when people want to transfer into my school. Okay. Is that saying admit? Yes, I want to admit because look at it. 76 overall. 76 overall for this guy. He's a freshman. Morrisville, 60. I'm saying, Maurice Joseph, a 66 overall. He's transferring from North Carolina State. I think I used 60. It was a 65 overall. Yeah, I could use that. Hey, hey guys, I can use all the help I can get. And recruiting. This has kind of been a major bugaboo with this organization. Okay, we're in a battle for everybody, and you'll see why. I went ahead and went with the Spark 100 right off the bat. The reason for that, and let me save the dynasty here right while I got a chance. The reason for that is simple. This team is a 60 overall. Georgia State. Georgia State. This team was a 60 overall, which meant I knew that if I was going to get that high, that overall rating up, I could not just stay with, start out with players that I have in my CU, CSU, and Virginia Tech dynasties. I had to start with the Spark 100 from the get-go. Now, that would have meant having fewer players, getting yeah, accepting scholarships or winning, more transfer, more of these recruiting battles. But I figured that by putting all of my upgrades into recruiting, I could go a long ways. Now I'm going to scout some of these guys. I got 24 team needs still, or 24 positions filled for team needs. Now these are guys I'm trying to win over. Okay, these are 100% scouted. There were some players I couldn't even scout at all. And some guys, in the end, will just simply work on the bench. No matter what, because their overall rating will be so down. By the time I get through improving this team, they likely would not. Yeah, some of those guys probably won't even be around for their senior year. Oh, a bust! Yep. Jeremy Taylor's the quarterback. I don't see myself putting in points for him. Casey Davis, my man. Ugh, what am I going to do? Okay. Ike Stanley. See, I got to get these centers and tackles, basically linemen, higher than 50. I mean, 60, okay, as freshmen, they're at least coachable. But, 50s, they better prove to be workhorses. That's all I got to say. 55, Antonio Rowe. Guys like Scott Johnson, yeah, he probably will not. Okay, let's go back here. Prospect, okay. I like this guy. I mean, Aaron Coleman, this guy, he could probably start at halfback. Oh, I'm not going to put all. Let me see here. How many points do I need to put in? I'll probably put it 520. Just to making it even 1,500. All right, I'll settle for that. 1,600. because he's got Western Kentucky after him. Kirk Mayo. Oh no, well, no, I better put in more than that. 770 points in him. No, I'll put in an even thousand because I want to make sure I get him. Because it's not real likely I'll get the other guy that's just below him. And I'm only going to aggressively pursue these guys who are in the 60s and 70s and, of course, 80s. Oh, but the specter of Georgia. Yikes. $420 in him. Just to at least make it look like we're still interested in him. Because I don't want to put somebody into a lost cause. This guy's certainly not a lost cause. 50, 1,500 in him. And I'll look at the other guy at wide receiver. If I have to use this other stick, then I will do that. This controller's starting to act like my Steel Series one. Because we're only 825 behind Georgia. And I intend to, in the 2014 season, establish a rivalry with Georgia State. With not only Georgia Tech, but also Georgia. I'm going to see if I can try to have my cake and eat it too. Pad my lead. Just put the usual 500 on him. Put the usual 500 on this guy. Okay. guys, and I know that it's a foregone conclusion. I'm probably gonna win. Again, ditto. Just put the usual 500. Because those guys in the 50s and low 60s, if I get them, I get them. I'm not overly interested in them. This guy, I'm definitely going to want to put in a whole lot more. 1,500. And if I get any points left over, I will look at padding my lead even further on some of the others. I'm going to also make this announcement that being this game is so old that, and this game gets much more a following on YouTube than it does on Twitch. And this isn't just with me, but with anybody else who plays this game. Like Mr. Hurricane and all the others. I mean, there's not too many other people on Twitch that I know of who plays this game. In fact, you do a search for NCAA Football 14, and you're not going to find anybody. In fact, let me take a look and see how well it looks. Yeah, so we're kind of talking to the microphone like so. While I do this, I want to see how well it looks on the Twitch app for Roku. That's a good way of finding out how well it sounds. Without actually having to without actually having to look at the browser basically. So I will look for myself. Playing, and I got again under Madden 15, and that's because it don't look bad. Uh, and yeah, that's all I was looking just to see how it looks graphically. So as soon as I get back to okay, here we go. That's what I was mostly interested in. It's a really good way to check the stream out. If you get a Roku and you wonder how you sound, that's a really good way to. Check your stream out. Oh, come on, controller. Let's get up here. I'm just going to tap the arrow. Take this slow. Since my thumb wants to go all over the place. Now this guy, yeah, he's a 64 overall. I'll put 1,000 in him. The reason why I'm not going for a full 1,500 is because he is a 64. So if I lose him, I lose him. No big deal. So so that's how we'll handle that. This guy, I'm not going to even bother with. This guy's like a 60. Not worth the time. 61. Not really worth the time. This guy is worth it. $1,500. Although that's my last 1,500 if I do that. What am I going to do? How are we at strong safety? Okay, versus a tackle. Tackle and strong safety. Okay. So good. I can lose this guy. And not worry. Okay, Zippo. I can go either way. But again, go back to strong safety. Because if I'm going to Something tells me put it in Kevin Graves. Something just tells me do that. I hope I'm I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. I'll save the dynasty here. Georgia State. Georgia State. Because otherwise I'm going to be have one less need. Because I'm going to be looking. Because otherwise they're going to be playing leapfrog. Signing day. Again, you can see Georgia State went 9-4, including a bowl win. I didn't even expect this to go 9-4. If anything, if we had a 9 anywhere in in either column, I was expecting it to be 9 losses, as in 3-9. Obviously, no bowl bid. Harold Cook is now level 5. See, Aaron is committed to our team. Kevin is committed to our team. Tom is committed to our team. Marcus is committed to our team. Oh, Johnny, we'll be looking forward to you every year. Leslie, same with you. Joshua is committed to our team. Joel went to UAB. Oh, okay. Andre went to our team. Luke, well, okay. Have fun in Boise, Idaho. Sean is committed. Quentin is committed. Chad is committed. Ike is committed. Brad is committed. I'm telling you, come their senior year, they will likely be warming the bench. David, Ed Brown, he will probably be spending all 4 years on the bench. Look at it, see it. Sign a top 5 prospect, a 5-star prospect. Sign a top 10 prospect. Sign a 3-star prospect. Sign a prospect and find a bust. Not bad, huh? Let me save it here. Georgia State. Georgia State. Turn down the volume. So I'm not shouting. So I don't feel like I have to shout. Okay. Recruiting board. Team needs. Yeah, we whittled them all down to two. We didn't get a center. We didn't get a middle linebacker. That JUCO, I can't say I was thoroughly impressed with. Well, if he was ready for a visit, well, but look at this. Look at this. Guy's a 77 overall. Look at that. 77, 70, 67, 66, 69. Then we get the 60s to 61, 62, 61. I mean, 64, 70, 78. Let's see. Position, quarterback. Break it down by position. We got Ike Stanley. Unfortunately, we lost Jeremy Taylor. Halfback. We got Aaron Coleman. That is kick ass to get him. We had no fullbacks on our board. A wide receiver, Tom Smith. He heads our freshman core of wide receivers. My tackle, Jonathan Braves. Okay, we're still in the lead for Casey Davis. I don't care about him, really. Joshua Barnes, Andre Turner, again, 67, 66. I don't think Adam Allen, we were never in a hunt for him. This is why he went to Ohio. A center, we lost out to the Raging Cajuns. And they can have him. He's like a 50. Yeah, he's a 50. They can have him. No, nobody there, nobody there, nobody there. Middle linebacker, we lost out to Scott Johnson of Florida. Well, they're going to have him because he's like a 64. He won't even make the team there. We got Ed White, the corner. Smashed Alabama. Look at Alabama, Georgia, and Notre Dame. Oh my gosh. We beat out four of the top schools in the country. Take a look at that, folks. Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Georgia. We beat them all to nab him. Oh, I know Georgia's going to have fun with us. Georgia is like We want them on our schedule. I'll be happy to take them too. That might be the highlight of the whole class. I got Marcus Holiday and I get Kevin Graves. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I got the JUCO. I got him. So let, let's go back to the tackle. I think it was Joshua Barnes that I was in a battle with, and I won. I played my cards. Well, either way, amongst the tackles and strong safeties, I played my cards and I got them both. Am I a genius? Am I a genius or not? Ed Brown, I didn't even scout him, yet we got him. I got 11 scholarships. I saved the university quite a bit of money. Only two guys committed on scholarships. The university's happy with me. So overall, we'll remove the prospects and we'll count how many we got. So we know how many people I can clearly see here. Total. Let's see. Jonathan Carter, he's in southern Mississippi. Southern Miss is in the Sun Belt. Derek Pleasant, Utah State. I actually put Utah State on the schedule last year. Not even thinking we would beat Utah State. But we did. So let's look at how many guys we got here to improve the football team. Oh, this is easy. 14 guys, some of which we got one, two, three, four, five. Five of them are like 60 and higher, or like a 65 and higher. So from that perspective, mixed. Our team needs. I hate this. I hate that layout. Uh, so our results were kind of mixed in the recruiting end. Again, we'll just save the dynasty just to make sure it's saved. Georgia State. Georgia State. So we had some success, but by the same token, it just goes to show that we still got quite a ways to go on in recruiting. Okay, am I due for an upgrade? I have got one upgrade. I knew. Well, signing day's already is already here. So I'll use that for the opener to next season. That's going to be great. Because game management, I relied on my own skills, my own personal skills. I felt if I can do that, I would get it. Certainly not going to go to the BCS, but you know, I could put forth a winning record, especially given the conference that we're in. I mean, Sun Belt Conference. Hello. Advance to the next stage. Yes, I know. So, what I've had to do is to make up for that conference schedule. I'm just going to keep the positions as they are. To make up for the conference, being as anemic as it does, I get as it is. I get around that by having a tough non-conference schedule. Of course, when you have a 60 overall team, everybody's going to be tougher. A 60 overall team and the worst, Georgia State, Georgia State, and the worst overall uh, rating of the entire game, everybody's going to be tougher than you. But when I went into the 2013 schedule, I did not want Georgia State on the rival on it. I'm saying not Georgia State. I mean Georgia Tech, who is their biggest rival, until I knew what I had. This year, they're going on the schedule. Along with Georgia, I'm going to complete the cycle. Again, save the dynasty. It's Mother Nature decides she's going to throw up another storm at us. We had a big old thunder boomer before I started recording here. I'm not seeing anybody in the chat room, so. Okay, Georgia State. Georgia State. I always double check and make sure I save it in the right one because when you get about 5 dynasties, you know, you always want to make sure you save it in the right dynasty because if you don't, especially when my other dynasties are like, yeah. Adam Ewing, he's got an overall rating. He went up to a seven. He went up 6 to a 79. Hollins, it's a sophomore. He's a 68. So, not bad. Halfbacks. Robert Williams is 69. Carlton is 65. Fullback. Anthony Hall. He's a 72 now. At 65 for Alex Walker. I can see this team really going up a bit. 69, 68, 68, 66. I can't, unless I'm overly over the limit, I'm probably not going to cut anybody. Certainly not anybody in the 65 or higher. Certainly not. Look at 63. He's the only one there is. 72. I will redshirt anybody below 65. I'm not going to mess around. Anybody below 65, I'm just going to out and out redshirt them. I don't care if I use every single red shirt I have. I'm just going to keep anybody with a rating is 64 or lower gets redshirted. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no passing go, no collecting $200. Period. I don't. The only exception, of course, would be if they've already been redshirted and they've used up their red shirt year. If they haven't, guess what? Throw it on, kid. 72 overall, 67, 64, 63. Defensive tackle, 71, 70, 69, 64, 62. Left outside linebacker, 78, 83, 83. Oh, no, that's his speed. That's 74, 71, 66. Having all these guys 65 and higher, 65, 70, 75, 80 plus, that's going to heavily improve our team, improve our overall rating. I can see it going up. $68, $65. The kicker, 77. Punter, 81. again, even with this here, I'm going to save it. Georgia State. Georgia State. I should point out this is the first time I've ever done 1280, done 720p at 60 frames. I think using OBS. So if it works out, I'm going to keep that up. Cut players. Yeah, I know I've got that. And I took advantage of it. I spent it. It'll be used to opener. Again, I'll save the dynasty here just in case. Georgia State. Georgia State. The signing they already happened, so no need to put it in the closer. It made no point. It made no sense to do that. So go to the off-season, go to cut players. And I have no room to cut. I'm right at the roster limit. So again, I'll just save it because out of habit. Georgia State. Georgia State. So I'm glad I don't have to cut anybody. I don't think I would want to. Custom conferences. There's one move I'm going to show you that I already made with this dynasty. Actually, a couple of things here that I will make in the other dynasties. I'm just going to show it to you because I've already made it. Oh, there's no cutting for me. Well, I'm not going to reset the tree. I mean, hello. Why should I do that? Okay. I can save it just so Georgia State, in case of a system crash or whatever. I will have not had a problem. All right. Custom conferences. Now this is what I'm going to show you again. Most of you already know the move I made. Florida Atlantic used to be in the Sun Belt, in Conference USA, now in the Sun Belt. Most of these other moves you already know about. Houston, I did try to in the SEC. That just wasn't working. So I put them in the Sun Belt too. So this is the way the SEC looks. Nah, not much different. I put Texas in the SEC. Yeah, I know all about the Texas Oklahoma rivalry. They still play that rivalry. All the rivalries are protected. No problem there. It's just that the Red River rivalry now takes place a little bit later in the year, but they still have it. They joined Texas A&M in the SEC. Okay, I'm gonna go Conference USA. This conference, I admit, is rather crowded, but I just don't know of any other place to put them except in the independents. Troy used to be in the Sun Belt. They are now in the Conference USA. Kansas used to be in the Big 12. You know, with them not having much success in the Big 12 over the years, I put them in Conference USA. Now it also gives Conference USA a presence there. So you could say it kind of made sense. The American Conference, most everything else is basically the same. I probably have them a little differently than I do in other. Let's see. Bowling Green is in the MAC. I think Bowling Green is in conference. And Bowling Green is not in. Yeah, they are in Conference USA, I think. I put Old Dominion. Well, that I put that in there last year. Yeah, Bowling Green. I don't know why Bowling Green is in the MAC. Bowling Green is like in Kentucky. It's too far south. Kentucky's too far south for the MAC. I really don't know where to put Bowling Green that would be a little more appropriate place. I can't put them in the. I could put them in. I could put them in Conference USA. That would even up the conference. Oh no, from the MAC. Um. Yeah. East. That would make a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I would have to keep Kentucky in the SEC. I don't have any choice there. But get Bowling Green out of the MAC because Bowling Green is in Kentucky. It doesn't belong in the MAC. MAC stands for Middle Atlantic Conference. It doesn't belong in the MAC. I mean, you look at the geographic rules. Geographically, it does not belong in the MAC. So that's the only move I'm going to make with this dynasty. Okay, one move I am going to make sure I made in this dynasty, and that is maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Conference rules. Oh, no, no, Pac 12. Most everything else will stay the same. Location of championship game, yeah. I moved it to San Diego, not so much because of San Diego State, which is not a Pac 12 school, but for the stadium. It's a neutral site. Yeah, it's in Southern California, but it's a neutral site. It's away from the Rose Bowl, away from, you know, the Memorial Coliseum. And of course, there'll be a lot of people in Southern California will still go down there. Maybe not as many, but it made a much better sense than when I did with my other dynasties by playing the game in Denver. Like, Denver! Yeah, not, 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 not a good idea. Like, really? Denver is not a good place for the Pac-12 championship. It's a great place for the Mountain West championship. Now, conversely, San Diego, not a good place for the Mountain West championship. Georgia State. Georgia State. It's just not. Those are just not very good places. Geographically, they just don't. It just makes better sense to do it that way. Even though, yeah, San Diego, like I said, is outside the boundaries of the Pac 12. What can I say? Do a little give and take. We'll do all the way up to week one. And then we'll show the overall. Yeah. Okay. Set up the recruiting board. Okay. Georgia State. Georgia State. Okay, this will kind of take a bit. So I will do a supplementary video because the setting up of the recruiting board will take a while. To do. Red shirt players. That won't take long. And custom scheduling. I can do that. Or no, better yet, I'll just save that for the supplement video. So we'll make this a two-part video to make it uploadable. And then we will go from there. Um, so we will catch you later on.